Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with my guy Chris Ruffolo for the breakdown today's WNBA action on June 27th, Thursday, man. Money making Thursday. Ruffalo, what's happening?
Not much, man. Yeah, we had a great debut for our WNBA series. That Commissioner's Cup was a great game. Not only did the Lynx cover, they won outright. So hopefully everybody tailed that, but that was then. This is now. We got a great card of WNBA action, and I'm ready to break it down with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. Let's hop right in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. First game up, we got my favorite team. I guess I could call the Wings that my favorite team here in Dallas. Nothing crazy though, but my favorite team, the Dallas Wings, at home at the crib, getting 10 points versus the Minnesota Lynx. Hey, we just saw the Lynx get it done the other day. Me and Chris both had them. Shout out to our first play here on the WNBA layup session. Um, Look, I'm not trying to say I'll dream. The Lynx are the better basketball team. The Lynx, I expect, will win this basketball game. But coming off of a Commissioner's Cup, coming off a mini celebration on this extended winning streak that they're on, I would not be surprised if this was a little flat spot for them. That's my argument. That's my angle. I think Dallas probably plays them a little tough and maybe sneaks in the back door. 10 points to lay on the road is a lot to lay, especially coming off of a huge championship, style win for the Lynx. Kind of my argument, kind of like after Banner Night or on Banner Night, kind of something similar to that. Just a small letdown for the Lynx. They probably win the game, but I think 10 in my back pocket is why I'm going to lean here with the Dallas Wings.
Yeah, I think as a Dallas fan, I shouldn't have really been surprised here, but I think for me, not everything is going to be like this for us in the layup session. I'll tell you that, guys, out right now. But we are going to have differing opinions from time to time. I'm going to be on the Lynx here, laying the 10. I think if I were to take the Wings here, I would take them in the first half. I think if you're going to see a letdown here, it might be a slow start from the Lynx. But here's the thing for me with Lynx is that we talked about it in that Commissioner's Cup game was that the Lynx, I think the Lynx are the best defensive team in the NBA. A lot of talk goes to the Connecticut Sun and what they've done, but for me, the Lynx are the best defensive team in the WNBA. They take away the perimeter, and you take away Arike for the Wings. You take away your star player. She shoots 9 threes a game. You take that away, and we've seen when she was out of the lineup, the Wings really struggled. And I mean, it's still sort of carried, even though she's gotten back into the lineup. For me, I just think the Lynx, they've beaten up on less this season, and I think if they can take her out of the game early, it just sets up to be a game where the Lynx pull away in the second half. So it's not a great number. I'll say that laying 10 on the road, like Jay said, after a Commissioner's Cup victory isn't ideal, but I think the Lynx is where I have to be on this one.
Fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next game up, we got the Las Vegas Aces out on the road facing the Chicago Sky. Ruffalo, lead this one off.
All right, this one, I went back and forth because Sky, they had that nice win over the Indiana Fever. They rallied, they got the win there. They came back from 12 points down. But the thing for me is that you can't do that against the Las Vegas Aces. You can do it against the Indiana Fever, who have been one of the worst defensive teams in the WNBA this season. But the Las Vegas Aces, they're a complete team. I think this is a spot where the Sky are really going to miss Elizabeth Williams. Now, yes, you have Camila Cardozo in the middle. Still, she's 6'7", taller than Asia Wilson. And I think that, Wilson might have some issues racking up the rebounds like she has had in recent games. But this is still an Aces team that's complete. They can hurt you in a bunch of different ways. The Chicago Sky are also the worst three-point shooting team in the WNBA, and that is where you attack the Las Vegas defenses on the perimeter. The Las Vegas Aces have the worst three-point defense in the WNBA, but the Sky just aren't built to take advantage of that. I think the Aces found something in that win against Connecticut, and even though they're back out on the road here, I think they get it done here. I'm laying the points with the Aces. Jay, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you here. I'm taking the Las Vegas Aces laying the points here as well. I thought that Chicago did play really well in their last game, beating the Fever, but again, I just think that the Aces are the complete better basketball team. I know the Aces kind of started the season off slow, but we know who they are. We know what they're going to do. We know where they're going to be towards the end of the season. One of the best teams in the WNBA. I think you hit the nail right on the head. First, talking about the 3-point shooting for the Chicago Sky. Really an inside team with Cardosa, Angel Reese, and company. We'll see if they're able to bang down low with the Aces. I just don't think they're able to. We see them only scoring about 79, 80 points a game because of the lack of 3-point shooting. I just don't think it's going to be enough here against the Aces. I think the Aces probably stretch this thing out towards the end. I would look at laying the points with Las Vegas as well. All right, next game up, we got the Washington Mystics at home, at the crib with the Connecticut Sun coming in. Look, I'm not going to overcomplicate this one. I'm going to take the Mystics. Here's why. I feel like they're in the best stretch of basketball that we've seen them play all season. Would they lose their first 13 games of the year? Now they've won 4 or 5. I mean, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm getting a great amount of points in my back pocket. On the other side, the Sun, what did they start the season off? 13-1. Now have dropped back-to-back games. You low-key can say they're in the worst stretch of their season. So we got a team in the best stretch of theirs. We got a team in the worst stretch of theirs. A lot of points to be had there with the home team. I'm not overcomplicating it. Giving me the Washington Mystics plus the points at home at the crib. What you think, Roof?
Yeah, I was leaning towards the Mystics if I had to take a side here. But it's just for me the Mystics are just very, very banged up. Carly Samuelson, she's now ruled out. I think she had a fracture in her hand, so she was stepping up lately, and now she's out until after the Olympics. It looks like Brittany Sykes is out, Shakira Austin's out, Aaliyah Edwards is questionable for this one. So only leads Ariel Atkins and a bunch of other role players. So I think the Mystics can hang here. This for me is just a play against the Sun and what the Sun have stood for this season, which has been their defense. I know earlier I talked about how the Sun, a lot of people consider them to be the best defensive team in the WNBA. I think that the Suns' defense is good. I don't know if it's the best, but I think it could be good enough here. We saw them hold the Mystics to 59 points in the last meeting, and to me, this just sets up as a defensive battle. I think if the Sun win this one convincingly, they're going to hold the Mystics in check, and if the Mystics want to make this a game, they're going to have to drag the Sun down into the mud with them. I think I got to like the under 153 here with a lean towards the Mystics and the points.
And in our last and final game of the night, Ruffolo, take it on.
Yeah, we got the Storm and the Fever here. The thing for me here, the Indiana Fever are playing some of their best basketball of the season. We talked about the Mystics earlier. Right now, the Fever are rolling. They've won 4 or 5. They've covered 5 straight. But the thing that stands out for me is that the Indiana Fever are still the worst defensive team in the WNBA this season. They're dead last in defensive efficiency. They have, they can't stop anybody from scoring right now, and they still just gave up 88 to the Sky, 79 to the Dream, who were without Ryan Howard in that game. Gave up 84. They haven't really played anybody, and now they're going to take on a Seattle Storm team that's got Jewel Lloyd leading the charge, and the Seattle Storm team, just like we mentioned earlier with Las Vegas Aces, is balanced. They can hurt you in a bunch of different ways. So I think Seattle can be able to ring up the points here on Indiana. But we saw the first meeting between these two hit 168 points. The last meeting back at the end of May hit 191. I got to roll with that here. I got to roll with the over again in this one. Like I said, I just don't expect much defense to be played at all in this thing.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if this game got up and over the total. I see quite a bit of points here in this game as well. Rather than tack the total, though, y'all know I don't like a lot of totals and hoops. I just hate the way that they make me watch the game. Um, I'm gonna lay the points with the Storm. We saw them get down on the Fever in that last one, 103-88. The first one was fairly competitive, 85-83, but I thought that second matchup is kind of going to be more indicative of what we're going to see here. I thought you said a very key thing here. The Fever, they're the worst defensive team in the league. They just can't seem to string stops together. They've been better recently, but now their third straight road game. We saw them lose, to the Chicago Sky in a very winnable spot, a game against a team they've had their number this season, and they fell apart there in the end. I think the Storm are just a different team, different class above what the Fever are right now currently. I love Caitlin Clark. I love what she's doing for the WNBA. But right now, currently, I know they've been playing decently, but I think this is a Storm style spot at home at the crib. I would look at laying the points. And that's going to conclude this episode of the WNBA Layup Session. Ruffolo, hey, second episode. I thought it was fairly good, man. I appreciate you as always. Hopefully, we cash like we did day one. How you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling good, man. We had a couple of disagreements on a couple of these games, but that's gonna happen. I still think there's we said in episode one, there's gonna be tons of money to be made WNBA this season, and yeah, we're gonna make a money hand over fist. I can assure you that.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's what we're trying to do. Money making Thursday. We appreciate you, each and every one of you, for joining us. Make sure you scoop up our premium bets, man. I know I have one for sure today in the WNBA. You got one, Roof?
I believe I'm gonna have one. I might have a 3-pack as well, so stay tuned. But yeah, definitely check us out over at Pickdawgz Premium.
There you go. Money making Thursday. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We're out of here.